Today, Londoners have woken up to a very different city.
Downing Street has just confirmed that the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has tested positive for a coronavirus.
The mystery virus started here in the city of Wuhan. Chinese authorities pinpointing its source to this food market.
Wuhan itself has been cut off for more than 36 hours now. Dr. Li Wenliang tried to raise the alarm about a new mystery illness. That virus has taken his life. Back in December, before any of this, Dr. Li warned medical students in a private chat group. Action was taken, but by the police.
The virus broke out in Wuhan at the end of December, but it's also since been detected in Thailand and Japan. And while the Chinese government says it's spreading from animal to humans, scientists here say human-to-human transmission can't be ruled out.
If this were flu, we'd be 100 times more than that. You know, that would be worrying, but this is not flu, this is corona. So I'm concerned, but I'm not over-worried about it.
The virus, which originated in Wuhan, has spread to every region of China.
We're 600 miles away from Wuhan here, but this village is taking matters into their own hands. They are distrustful and they fear coronavirus. All across China, communities are sealing themselves off.
The medical staff at this point of the epidemic taking no chances, in full gear. The woman accompanying the patient protected only by a mask. The number of cases keeps leaping. There's a heavy official presence here as they try to control the situation. All wildlife and poultry has now been banned from Wuhan. And officials have imposed travel restrictions, warning people to make only necessary journeys. At each turning point, it gets worse. The World Health Organization will meet tomorrow to discuss whether the outbreak should be declared an international health emergency.
We don't know what sort of damage this virus could do if it were to spread in a country with a weaker health system. The main reason for this declaration is not because of what is happening in China, but because of what is happening in other countries. I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern. We have never before seen a pandemic that can be controlled at the same time. We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
They're cleaning an entire apartment block in Hong Kong. It's where the latest coronavirus victim in the city took ill, so all 16 floors of the block have to be sterilized. Scientists believe the virus could lay active for up to 72 hours. As China's isolation grows, many Hong Kongers are becoming increasingly incensed about their leaders' refusal to seal the city's borders with the mainland.
In the city at the heart of the coronavirus outbreak, the deadliest day yet. More than 200 people in the Hubei region have been killed by COVID-19 in the last 24 hours.
2 months since COVID-19 spread out of Wuhan, Italy is silent. Yesterday, 2 Italians were the first Europeans to die from the virus.
The first particular case of this, who's said to have contracted this COVID-19 virus, is said to be a 38-year-old man who contracted it because he was in contact with another man that is said to have travelled from China to Italy.
Italy's government has overnight announced a massive shutdown across the country as it struggles to cope with coronavirus. Around 16 million people across the north and east of the country are now in quarantine as part of the stringent new measures.
Officials say there are now more than 5,000 confirmed cases, a jump of more than 1,000 in 24 hours. More than 230 people have died.
Italy is on total lockdown after coronavirus containment measures originally announced for the northern region were extended across the entire country. It is the most restrictive action to stop the spread of the virus taken outside of mainland China.
Italy's lockdown keeps getting tightened.
Some breaking news to bring you on coronavirus, and Italy has given updated figures. The death toll from the coronavirus outbreak in Italy has risen to 631 from 463 on Monday. So that is a rise of 168 deaths in 24 hours in Italy. But that key figure, the death toll in Italy, rising to 631.
Italy is Europe's worst hit country.
That is, the death toll in Italy has risen by 919 and now stands at 9,134.
To think that it was just the 21st of February, exactly 5 weeks ago today, that Italy lost its first citizen to COVID-19, and the number now stands at 9,134 lives lost in just 5 weeks.
International experts on the coronavirus have been called together for a case conference in the hope of piecing together vital evidence. It's now been named COVID-19. People infected with the virus seem to pass it on to 2 or 3 others on average. Currently, it believes the incubation period is anywhere between 1 and 12.5 days. Some people may not show symptoms at all or only have a mild infection. That would allow more rapid spread through a population.
On the front line of a new viral epidemic, there's no room for error. Carefully, doctors in Wuhan put on their suits and masks. Their best chance of protection against the potentially deadly coronavirus. The sickness that started in their city has built in strength and seeped out, sending infection rates in China rocketing 50% in just 24 hours.
Well, it seems barely conceivable that a country in the heart of Europe could be in lockdown in peacetime.
Europe has now become the epicenter of the pandemic, with more reported cases and deaths than the rest of the world combined, apart from China.
Unwelcome but expected, the coronavirus has hit the UK.
It has been confirmed that there are 2 cases now in England.
A further patient has tested positive for coronavirus, which, as we know, brings the total number of cases in the UK to 3.
But sadly, we can confirm that an older patient with underlying health conditions has died and last night tested positive for coronavirus. The family has been informed and our thoughts are with them at this difficult time.
But the situation is pretty much as it has been, in the sense that we're still, Sam, in the contained phase.
Here in the UK, as of this morning, there were 319 confirmed cases. Very sadly, this now includes 4 confirmed deaths.
More families, many more families, are going to lose loved ones before their time.
The first British victim, a Diamond Princess cruise passenger, was announced at the same time as 3 new cases in the UK and the first recorded case in Wales.
Our challenge now is to get the NHS ready, prepared to be able to deal with the consequences of that.
And in the past few moments, it's been confirmed that a 5th person with the virus has died in the UK.
NHS England has confirmed that a 6th person has died from the coronavirus.
The latest from the Department of Health, numbers are up, 115 confirmed cases now in the UK.
We had told you earlier that that new number was 169, with 5 new cases confirmed in Scotland. We now understand from the Department of Health that that number for the UK in total has gone up to 206.
In the UK now, we understand that there are 319 positive cases.
There are now 456 people testing positive for coronavirus. That's up from 373 people, so an increase of nearly 80.
I do think, looking at it all, that we can turn the tide within the next 12 weeks.
The death toll in the UK has now been confirmed at 233. That was up from 180.
The number of deaths in the United Kingdom have reached 578.
Today, Londoners have woken up to a very different city with up to 40 tube stations closed and bus and train services cut. As coronavirus takes hold here more quickly than anywhere else in the UK, the Mayor Sadiq Khan has called for people to stop using the transport network unless it is essential.
Good evening. The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades, and this country is not alone. All over the world, we're seeing the devastating impact of this invisible killer. The time has now come for us all to do more. From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home. The way ahead is hard, and it is still true that many lives will sadly be lost. Each and every one of us is directly enlisted. Each and every one of us is now obliged to join together to halt the spread of this disease, to protect our NHS, and to save many, many thousands of lives. The people of this country will rise to that challenge, and we will come through it stronger than ever. We will beat the coronavirus, and we will beat it together. And therefore, I urge you, at this moment of national emergency, to stay at home, protect our NHS, and save lives.
I'm speaking to you at what I know is an increasingly challenging time. A time of disruption in the life of our country. A disruption that has brought grief to some, financial difficulties to many, and enormous changes to the daily lives of us all. Together we are tackling this disease, and I want to reassure you that if we remain united and resolute, then we will overcome it. I hope in the years to come, everyone will be able to take pride in how they responded to this challenge. And those who come after us will say the Britons of this generation were as strong as any. Many will feel a painful sense of separation from their loved ones. But now as then, we know deep down that it is the right thing to do. While we have faced challenges before, this one is different. This time we join with all nations across the globe in a common endeavor, using the great advances of science and our instinctive compassion to heal. We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again.